Welcome, welcome. This is Lynda. I hope you're having a wonderful day. This is part 2 of the collage video. And as you can see, I have almost completed my collage across the first layer. This was the area that I worked in the first video for you. You recognize these pieces in here. Nothing's really changed in there. But then I've come along and I've filled in the rest of it. Now a lot of it over in this area I haven't sewn yet, and I've got this little piece here that I've got to sew in, so I'm going to do that right now. This, as I said in the first video, I would be coming back and layering a few pieces on top, and that's what one of this is. When I get through the first pass and I look at it and I think I would like to even out or balance out colors or texture or weight, composition, anything that I want to balance a little bit, then I can use that second pass over the top to add little pieces that do that. And I just wanted to bring a little bit more of the colors that are over here onto this area here. And that's what this little piece is. This is a little piece of gauzy fabric out of a gauzy scarf. And it's very delicate. The colors are great for this project here. And I love it. And of course, it's beautiful to sew through. I do have a problem with this piece, and you know, I have this problem off and on while I'm creating, but I'll create something with the intent. For instance, I created this, started it with the intent to cut it up and use it for other things, but now I'm liking it so much the way it is that I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to cut this up or not. I think I might want to use it in its solid for some things. I don't know what I'm going to do about that one. I can always, I'm thinking, boy, it would make a nice page in my coffee table book challenge that we're running here on my channel for this year. Slow stitching coffee table size book. Wouldn't it make a nice page in there? I could use cut part of it for a page and still have a little bit left over that I could cut something else up in. I was thinking of some butterflies or some flower petals. Okay, let's see. Now all the threads that I've been using in this are, there's every color in the world in here, but I'm going to come over and catch another round of stitching in this piece right here. They're all pastel colors. I have yellows, peaches, blues, greens, and mauve, but they're all in the very light pastel shades, so they all blend perfectly. No colors jump out, and that's important because once I started this and stayed in the softer colors, I don't want to ruin it with really strong color threads. So it doesn't matter what color I use as long as it's a very light pastel color. Running stitch is the only stitch I've used so far. Whether it be short or long, you know, just the running stitch. An overcast stitch, basically. I have used that, but those two, just a running stitch, overcast stitch, just getting all these pieces down. Again, this is about the collage, it's not about the fancy needlework. That can be done if you want to, but that's, I'm not into the embroidery part of it. I'm just into getting the collage done. I am very much loving the colors and how they're playing together. They're just being so nice to each other and just doing a good job of playing together very well. I'm going to just jump over here while I'm on this side with a little bit of thread left and just go down through the center of this piece. I always seem to be able to do that at least once, if not 3 or 4 times. Let's get it threaded back through there. Oh, come on. Thread up easy. Yeah, got a little bit uneven ends, and that'll catch you every time. Yep. Okay, let's be a little more careful and get 1 or 2 more stitches out of this. Okay. All right, we have little pieces everywhere that we haven't gotten sewn in. But maybe I'll go down here and work on this area here. Now, one of these pieces are the same as this one here of fabric, and I wanted to squinch it up a little bit. So let me just start. And I squinch as I go, so you know, you don't have to worry about it being so perfect. Just get some squinchies in there and you'll be all right. I'm so glad when I get the pins out so that I don't keep catching my thread over them every time. Okay, a couple more stitches and I probably can move that pin. Okay, let's see, I need to squash. I think I'm gonna fold that one under. There we go. This piece is in here more for the color. Keeping the color balance in the pieces, then coverage is not really covering anything. So I don't have to worry about how little it ends up or anything like that. This is a good thing to do with when you've got fancy fabrics that are very fragile, fray easy, so forth and so on. Just squinch them, and what I call squinching them anyway. That way you know, that thickens them up and strengthens them up. He's squinching pretty good now. Let's go out here and catch something on the edge. There we go again. Okay. Get our edges down. If you're going to know that you're going to cut it up into smaller pieces, I always put more stitching in than I would if I were going to use it whole, because I don't, using it whole, it's okay to me to have little dimensional areas where things stick up or are loose. But if I'm going to cut it up, I don't want it unraveling on me after I cut it up. So, and this one I'm not sure what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch it down a little better. Okay, there, that looks pretty good, all squinched up, doesn't it? Now we got one more to squinch over here. And I've got him pinned in. I'm gonna have to unpin him to work with him, I think. I think I'm going to not squinch him up quite as tight. We'll see. How I might want to do that. Tucking in those outer edges, just tucking them under, will create a lot of pretty folds for you. Just randomly tucking them. And then come up, you know, stitch in that fold so it holds that fold in. And we'll go on our outside edges. Get some of that. Have you found some fabrics to work with? Have you thought about creating a collage? Just hand stitching your scraps together? Again, that's a very, you know, it's something that you can always be working on, and something that you can definitely use for other projects that you can make up in advance when you don't have any particular thing that you want to be working on. Just work on your collages, and then they'll be there on the shelf when you need them, something to cut up and use, or use whole, however you will determine to do it. But I am leaning more and more to using part of this as a page in my coffee table book, because it would just make a great variety page, since it's in the pastels, totally different than anything else I'm putting in so far. Okay, there's another one that's all squunched. We can take this one out now. And since we're here, we could just maybe finish out this, tacking this edge down. If you can tell what this is a seam along something that I cut out of a blouse. It's the seam that I cut out, and they make great additions to fiber art and stuff like this. So don't throw away your seams when you're harvesting, reclaiming fabric. Don't throw away the seams of your garments. Let's end this before I get into trouble with it. Okay, we got that down there, down there. Let's see, I need to load up a needle again. Isn't that looking pretty? Doesn't that look nice and soft? You know, when I started out, like I said, I have a tub of scraps here, and I didn't determine beforehand that I'm just going to go pastels, but that was my choices pretty much in the first corner. And so I thought, that's looking so good. Well, then I decided to stay with it. And fortunately, I have quite a few of them in that tub. And I have, like I said, lots of silkies and laces in that tub, gauzy fabric. So they play together really well for a soft look. These little piece here and here and here come out of a strip of a scarf that I had, just choosing the color strata that I wanted in each place, and I cut that out. So while I'm down here, I might as well get this one sewn in good. Be done with this corner. Another reason why it's harder to cut up this one is because when I machine sew collages, it's a lot less time involved. And when you put a lot of time into something, it's really hard just to cut it up, especially if you like it. And so it's okay to change your mind in the middle of the project. I'm thinking if I put it in my coffee table book, what will I do with it? This would be the background of the page. What will I do with it then? I don't know. I haven't got that far yet. Gonna have to have some inspiration to think about that one. I better go along on the inside of this circle here. I got a pin hitting. Boy, I've got to practice my English. A pin hiding inside of here. Oh, there. Have you ever sewn in a pin? I have, and had to cut it out from the back side. I think I've made every mistake there is to make, and more than once. So if you've made a few, don't feel bad. We are definitely together in this. I've got my thread looped out here, and where it's from or why it's out there, I don't know. See if I can bring it in. Yeah, it's coming slow, but there, at least it's coming there. That's another mistake. Oh, gosh. But every once in a while, because of creating mistakes and have to correcting or improvising, you come up with some fantastic ideas, some new designs, things you would have never done had you not started with a mistake. So never count them as lost time. A lot of times they are just miracles in the making. Okay, we'll come back out here. And we will get this spaced around in here, around the edges, so that it stays put. And if I want to fill in with tighter stitching, I can do that too. Okay, that corner piece we've got secured well. Let's go ahead and come up the end of this one because it's not sewn in. Well, it's caught under this one, but let's see. That one lays out there. Get that one in there. Just catching these little bit of thread on my needle, so I'm just using it to go ahead and come up the edge and catch some of these fabrics. Like basting it in on the edges. Those will be, you know, no doubt covered up, cut up, something. The edges never stay intact like that. So, but you have to get them down. You don't want them messing up on you. Okay, I'm gonna have to call it quits on that thread. Okay, we got this piece in and we got this corner secured, coming up this edge. Okay, and I will be stitching the rest of this off camera, and then when I get finished with it, I'll make a final video. We'll see what it looks like and make a final decision on how I'm going to use it. But I am leaning very heavily to being one of the pages in my coffee table book. It'll be about that size over here, and that would just be beautiful. I'm kind of thinking if I put a tiny house in there with just maybe some embroidery work for the flower, I don't know. I think that would be pretty. There's so much there to work with color-wise. Anyway, I'll be thinking about that, but till next time, maybe you can start one too and we can play along together with ours. Till next time, please stay scrap happy.